Alright, so this is going to be a really fun video. I wrote, why should community band members forgive me? Or better yet, better question, why should I be back in community band? I wrote this. But I'm going to start with my first question that is going to catch everybody's attention. Why should community band members forgive someone like me? I'm talking about Houma-Terrebonne Community Band. To be honest, they should forgive me because I long for a professional life. I really wanted to be a band director. I went to school for music in Nichols for 4 years, and my professors taught me how to be professional. I had to learn boundaries of all things, and being in university was the perfect way to do it. My professors have pushed me hard to be independent as possible because they believe in a professional world that I have to do it. I would love to ask for forgiveness for everything I've done. I'd love to show my diploma to them to prove that they were wrong. I chose not to listen because I knew God was on my side, and He said over and over that I can't and that I will. That's the first part. I've just answered that question. Why should I be back in the community band? I just mentioned it. I want to be in a professional world. Yeah, I miss being on the stage with everyone because I used to love it, pretty much. I used to love being a percussionist, and it's kind of hard to give that up. And I just wish they understand how hard that really was. Yeah, I admit to messing up because I'm human, just like any. But I know there are some things that did mess me up that people were just unforgiving. I was given a vaccine and anti-anxiety medicines to where either one or both of them made me have me acting differently as a side effect. And it's not like a health side effect, it's more a psychological side effect that was going on. So that was a major, that should have been taken into consideration that was happening. And I'm going to admit that the meltdowns were my fault because I wish to use what I was taught about that I should never let disability become an excuse. I kind of felt the first part like, and I know that the meltdowns were immature. I'm going to be real with it. It was immature on my behalf. And the way my teachers taught it was the fact that I had to be a little more mature about how I handle my emotions. So, and yeah, they said that disability is not an excuse. That's a good thing they said that. Because you know what? They believe that I can be independent. And they believed for a long time. I'm also going to say this, not respecting boundaries is my fault too. And yeah, I kind of still blame myself on those. So what it was is I wasn't respecting boundaries either. I used to be like, hard to say, not respecting, like, especially when people working at times. I used to be like, when I was just getting off work early or something like that, I used to text them on my way home, but and also in awkward times too, that I wasn't being mindful of it. I was over texting. I was doing things I know I'm just not proud of, and that's where it kind of made me upset in a way. And part of the mentality is it's my fault. And I'll tell you one thing, I had to really realize it was my fault because I had to connect the dots further because I remembered emailing a professor during summer break or winter break, or probably both. I kind of got chewed out for doing 1,000+ emails. And honey, it wasn't pretty. I had to learn that I have to learn to stop. I have to learn to say, look, I gotta respect a person's time. That's what it's going to be. I wanted to show that I've become more independent, and that if I was allowed back in, and if I refuse, I'll tell you one thing, I will refuse vaccines and unnecessary medications and learn to control myself better. Anti-anxiety medicine, to me, it's useless to me. When sometimes the medicines themselves are causing worse dang problems there was. Vaccines, too, is another story. Some of them have a stupid adverse reaction that you don't know what this person's been through. And yeah, I may have messed up. And yeah, I had to learn. And no, I'm not ashamed of learning. So the call to action would be, I'm attaching a petition to allow me back in band. I want to come back to be a part of the community camp. Let's shoot for 1,000 signatures to where I can get on the conversation with the members to let me back. And if it don't get to that point, it's okay. At least I'm trying like heck to get back on track, you know. Getting on track to me is a little more important because then again, because I know my school district's don't have many opportunities right now, but I'm trying to get as much of experience now as I need to grow professionally. And if Indy was to open up in my district, I'd also be able to get the certification too on top of it. And I'd have a better network of people I can ask to be a reference or something like that, you know. And I also want to rekindle some relationships too along the way too. Kind of work on those with the professional aspects of it. And that's what I'm planning to do at this point. If I was to come back in, I want to work on that first. Develop a foundation to where I can be trusted again. And that people will understand where I come from. And for me, also, I thought of this too. I wanted to come back to a point to say, okay, I know this happened, but I'm willing to learn from it. I'm willing to take whatever it is, learn from my mistakes, and say, look, let's see what can be done a little better. Let's see if I can, you know, hope it makes sense, but hey. And I know we don't have to be friends in that room, but we do have to be kind of civil. So that's my wish right now, is to be as civil as possible. And I pray for the people that, you know, did what they did, but they didn't realize the real truth of what happened to me. What was going on. Because I think, to my experience, this should have been talked over better. I really wish that people would handle it better. Like, if I acted weird, they confront me first. And I'm really hoping for a change to that. Confront me first, then confront my mom or my dad if I don't listen. So that means there ought to be some level of that going on. And not just handling it over the phone. That's kind of, I'm not going to say the word, but it was kind of rude. We should have just met publicly, and next time I act weird, that's what my wishes would be. Meet publicly. Talk and address the behavior and how we can resolve the behavior without kicking people out of the group. That's how I haven't been able to join a group if it makes sense. It's like lack of resolve. Yeah, I made mistakes. Yeah, I've been to honor band when I wasn't supposed to. But people need to realize that's all in the past. It's time to forgive and let me back in and move on. That's what I wish to happen. And I don't know if anybody else is saying it, but this is my wishes. Forgive, learn, move on. So I hope y'all signed the petition. And let's get this to 1,000 or more. And see you back later.